Okay, we left off on 270. Say the Tefillah Shmini Atzeres. Rolling page 271. 271 Ve'im Avorchim. The Mechaber says one doesn't say Leisha Basukkah when you sit in the Sukkah on Shmini Atzeres and Chutz Loretz. Okay? But he says you say Kiddush and you say Zman, you say Shechi Yonam. Ve'im Avorchim came in the Shmini Hu, Yevshe Levruchim Basukkah, the Kashin Adodi. It's a contradiction. Im Yom Sukkah, Lav Shmini Atzeresu, Vim Shmini Atzeresu, Lav Yom Sukkah, Shemoche Avdina Luchumra. So therefore we sit in the sukkah, but again, as he said earlier, it's not an obvious baltosif, correct? Because people sit in the sukkah, you know, even when it's not sukkah, for the shade, it's more airy. Skima achron bein lecho be'erev achech hashecho. Ochem b'diavad notol yor ber chamotzi lo yivorech leishe basukkah. He says because if you start eating too early, right, it's still sukkahs. You have Tosefes Yom Tif. First, the whole question. You start the day early, that means you're actually infringing on Sukkot. You're cutting the day, Erev Shmini Atzeres, you're cutting the day short. Right? So as a result of that, really you're on the seventh day, so really you should say the bracha. If it's the night already, so that's a Sfeika Diyoma. So regarding bracha, we don't say a bracha. But factually, it's still day. If it's still day, then it's what? You should say the bracha. Even though I don't understand, let's say it's Ben Hashmoshus. We still say sub brachos lokil. It may be the seventh day, right? Still may be the seventh day. Unless it's a spek sveka. It's a spek sveka. Let's say you Ben Hashmoshus, the twilight period between the 7th and the 8th. It may be the 6th, right? It may be the 7th, right? What is Ben Hashmoshus? It still may be the 7th, maybe the 8th. But even the 8th may be the 7th. So you have 2 to 1 saying that it's still Sukkot. Understand? The 7th, the 7th may be the 6th. So Bein HaShoros, if it's still the 7th, so then you definitely say the bracha, correct? And even if it's the 8th, so-called Shmini Atzeres, but even Shmini Atzeres may be the 7th. But it may be the 8th. If it's night, definitely night, it's a 50-50 call. Is it the 7th or is it the 8th? So regarding bracha, we don't say a bracha. But Ben Hashmoshos, you have another added aspect. It still may be the day of the 7th, right? So therefore, that's the reason why, because otherwise say Savar Brachos Lokil, right? He says you should wait until it's definitely night, and therefore you don't get complicated involved with the question of the bracha of Leishib Basukah. He says, but b'di'evid, he says. Achem b'di'evidim notel yodav berach hamotzi. If the person already washed and said the motzi, lo yivorech leisha basukah. Why? The kvar kibul shmini atzeres b'tfilos b'kiddush. Because factually, you have it's why? Because it's a fake. Because factually, it's tosefes yom tif. It's not a bracha levatola. I mean, you have a right to be mosif, right? You accepted shmini atzeres before. We have tosefes yom tif. And stand that. Nobody's saying again because it'll be the Tarti Sas. Since factually you accepted Shmini Atzeres, so we see it as the 8th day, even though in actuality it's not the 8th day. It's only because it's Tosefes Yom Tif, because you brought Yom Tif in early. Yeah, I understand that. But he's saying even more. He said even more. Right. He's saying you're ready. He says both. Both. He says both. That's what he said. So really, when he says you shouldn't eat, you shouldn't what? He says you shouldn't have Tosefes Yom Tov. You should have Ma'ariv. You should make sure to have Ma'ariv afterwards. But it's not so bad. It's not such a problem. Because if you makabel, it's like every Tosefes Yom Tov. It's only the problem comes when you go into the sukkah. When you go into the sukkah, that becomes the problem. See, the Kiddush is also not the problem. You say Leisha Basukah. You say Yom HaShmini Chag Atzer, because the problems with the Leisha Basukah right? The problem comes only with the Leisha Basukkah. Till Leisha Basukkah, there's no problem. So I understand, but he says, yeah, but as I'm explaining, so why is it more from Bein Hashmoshes? It's the same like the night. We're saying Bein Hashmoshes is worse than the night. Yeah, but there is a concept of Tosef Yomtiv. He says, if you want to, start early, Shmini, you could. Right? What does he say? 1 second. He doesn't say you shouldn't be Makabel Shmini Atzeres early. Doesn't say that. He says you should not eat in the evening until it's definitely dark. You want to Makabel Shmini Atzeres early, you can Makabel Shmini Atzeres early. It's specifically eating. Because eating, the issue of Leisha Basukkah rises. A second. No, what I'm saying, he's saying you want to daven Ma'ariv early, you can daven Ma'ariv early. To eat, you have to wait till dark, till nightfall to eat. That's what he's saying. Okay. 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 Because it's like a Yoma. Let me ask you a question. Equivalent case. Person wore a talus for 40 years, never said Lisatik Batzitzis when he wore the talus. Now he puts on a talus, Bein Hashmoshos, after the 44th year, the 41st year. Do you say a bracha Lisatik Bein Hashmoshos or not? It may be night, it may be day. Do you say a bracha? Well, he hasn't said a bracha for 40 years. Maybe you should say it now. It's still sveik. It's some brachas lakel. If it's night, you don't say a bracha. If it's day, you do say. So you don't say a bracha. It's a berachas hamitzvah. It's the exact same thing. Yeah, but we're talking about the bracha. We're talking about the bracha. Wearing a four-corner garment with tzitz, that's a Torah obligation, if you have it, right? But the bracha is rabbinical. So what happens? And now you're Bein Hashmoshes. Do you say a bracha? You don't. Right? You have to put it on before sundown. Only then do you say the bracha. The answer is no. Of course not. It's about Tosef. It's about Tosef issue. No, but there also it's the wrong thing. Let's say you Makabel Shmini Atzeres early in Eretz Yisrael. You're also doing the wrong thing. Because it's factually it's Bein Hashmosh, it's still the 7th day, and Midoraisi you have an obligation in the Sukkah. See, it's a machlokas. We've shown him what is Tosef Yom Tov. It's Drabonon Doraisa. If it's Drabonon, then it's definitely on a Torah level. It's still the 7th day. So how do you eat without being in the Sukkah? If it's Doraisa, you say maybe, but still factually it's still the 7th day. It doesn't absolve you. It's l'chumra. It's not l'kula, right? That's why you have to wait. That's why everybody agrees Shmini Atzeres, especially in Eretz Yisrael, you have to wait till nightfall for that reason. Okay, let's see Beis, Halacha Beis. Omrim Zman, Shmini Atzeres, regel b'fnei atzmahu. Okay. Shachris, Motziin, Shloshe Svarim. Okay, now we're speaking of this is Simchas Torah in Eretz Yisrael. Shmini Atzeres, yes. Bekorim be'echad v'zosat brocha sof Torah. Right? The first reading is Zosat Brocha, the last parsha until we complete the Torah. Sheni Breishis. Arashe Bora Lokim Lasos. That's Ishi Biyamai. Right? It's the Mafti. The Mafti Shmini Atzeres. Umafti Vi Achremos Moshe. This is in Yoshua. Ubemokshos is Shnei Yomim Tovim. Chutz Lord, so we have 2 days. We have Shmini Atzeres. Simchas Torah is the 9th. And Motzim Yom Rishon and L'Shnei Svarim. On Shmini Atzeres we take out 2 Sifrei Torah. The Korim Be'echot B'chamisha B'Parshas Rei. We have 5 Yom Tiv. Mikol. Second. Mikol habar. V'mushabbos korin shiva. If it's Shabbos, you have to have 7 aliyos. Umaschil aset ta'aser. So we need more psukim, so we start earlier. V'amavti kori b'asheni. B'shmini, b'yom hashmini atzeres. Umafti b'mloch v'yichlos shlomo. Umachze asvorim v'omer kaddish. Now, umachres mashu ruchem or ragoshem. Right? We have geshem. Hashmini atzeres. Right? That's the first mission in Tainus. Right? We don't start mentioning mashu ruchem or ragoshem. This is the Chachamim. Rabbi Lezer says you mentioned it already from the beginning. Because he says we don't request. You're not requesting, it's just mentioning. Chacham say no. That you only begin mentioning when it's okay to have rain. Because it's a problem, because if it rains during Sukkot, it's siman kololo, it's a curse. Hashem says, I'm not interested in your service. So therefore, we wait to Shmini Atzeres when there's no longer an obligation to sit in the Sukkah. Oh, the Gemara speaks about it. The Gemara says something else. The Gemara doesn't say that. The Gemara doesn't say that. We'll say, let's see in Mishna Berura. Mafter. That's like on Shmini Atzeres. That's on Simchas Torah. First he's talking in Eretz Yisrael. Right. That's the third sefer. No. That is the Mafter. The Mafter he's talking about the Haftorah. He's called the Haftorah. That's the Maf. That's the Haftorah. You know, from the Novi. That's the Novi he's talking about. If there's the Gabbai. Okay, v'korim be'echod. Hochelo kamak shkor chamishkel kamek. Right, you read more than 5 aliyahs. The first sefer Torah is Simchas Torah in Eretz Yisrael Shmini Atzeres. So you don't say the first sefer you read 5. You read as many aliyahs as you need. There's Yisrael she'ein osin rak yom echad yom tiv. Okay, halo osi yom hu Simchas Torah lochi korah bo zos abrochom Simchas Torah haminig lohusif al akruim kidleel simin reish pei beis. We add many aliyahs. That's how we celebrate. Ubesheni b'shbreshis, loch regil haschu miyad breshis. Why do we start immediately? Without hesitation, we finish, we start. That's why whenever you finish a Masechta, we always start the next Masechta for that same reason. Why do we start immediately? Breshis. Shlei pischem pel l'sodon l'kachig lomar. Because the Sodom, he's waiting to prosecute us. What does he say? Farsimu osam osav ein rotzim the krosa od. They finish, they close the book, and they're going. That's it. So we start immediately without any interruption. And that's the reason whenever you finish anything, a Gemara or whatever, a Chumash, we always start the next. Even though with Chumashim not, correct? Right, you finish Vayichi, that Shabbos, you don't start Shmos, it's in the afternoon. You don't immediately call the Maftir, we don't read Shmos, right? Because it's one Torah, it's Chamish Chumashi Torah. But after Dvorim, it's the end of the Torah. So we go back to the beginning. Okay. Shmini Atzeres. Okay. What? What we start? We mean like a seam on a Masechta? No, that's what it's about. Yeah. Yeah. Lasos. You take the third Sefer Torah, Omni Chatzi Kaddish is before the Mafter, like you normally do. You have 2 Sefer Torah, Rosh Chodesh. Put both, you say the Kaddish. V'kol ha'bechor, v'odom aschil asa ta'ase, afilu chol. Neishus an maishus matnas aniyim. Omne b'di'eved, he says, however, if one did not, im kvar, beirach adait likros kol ha'bechor, ein tzorch lachzor. Shivo. He says you read, if it's Shabbos, you read 7 aliyahs. V'msima parshim chamisho, lo yom kaddish, v'yazav yishnei olim. You shouldn't say kaddish. You call up another 12 years. Or koponim ole echod levad hamaftir. V'mo makarish kol shlo siklas teriyav yikro v'yom makarish pam shenis. Even said karish, he realized he made a mistake. Call up another aliyah. Say karish again. V'im silak hasefer echod yikro ole echod lesefer hasheni v'yashtem mil pashas aser ta'aser yikro lemaftir chovas hayom. Ta'aser. Umidichet sefer Torah shniya etzlo v'machatzi karish atzeres. Umaskir in the shamas we have yisker on Shmini Atzeres. Avarachmim, whenever we have Yisker, we always say Avarachmim Levush. Machri is Mashav Ruach, Mevor Leil, Simikuf Yudal at Ayin Shom. Okay? We announce it. Right? Once you call it out, because when it comes to when we don't, Mord Atol, Ash Minag Ashkenaz, we say nothing in the summertime. Nusach Svart, they say Mord Atol. So by them, as a Machris, as they call out Mashav Ruach, they call out Mord Atol. Ashkenaz, you don't call out that you don't say. So that's the reason why there's no. Because once you announce it, if you don't say Mashav Ruach Mord Agoshim, you have to repeat the Shemon Esrei. Okay, so that's the difference. By Nusach Svard, right, even though if you leave out Mord Atol, also it doesn't make a difference, right? If you daven Nusach Svard, you don't say Mord Atol. You don't have to repeat the Shemon Esrei because the mercy is in tiniest. Because Tal is continuous. The world cannot exist without dew. No, I understand. But even if a person, let's say, for whatever reason, forgets to say Mord Atol in the summertime, one doesn't have to repeat the Shemon Esrei. But in the winter, if you don't say Mashav Ruach Mord Agoshim, let's say Mordid. Let's say you don't say Mashav Ruach, you say Mord Agoshim, you leave out Mashav Ruach. One doesn't have to repeat the Shemon Esrei. Because the winds are always, there's continuous winds. There's no, the winds cool down the world. So therefore, the wind it's similar to the leading, emitting Mord Atol. There's always dew, there's always wind. But rain is dependent on the season. So if you emit Mord Agoshem in the winter, or Geshem, then you have to repeat the Shemon Esrei. But once it's announced, it has to be said. So you have two people. Let's say for whatever reason is a person davened the head and he left it out, and the minyan he's davening, they doesn't have to repeat the musaf because in his minyan they didn't announce it yet. But if in his minyan they announced it, this comes up. Let's say your wife is home. No, it's a verbal announcement. Verbal before he's about to. No, before. Geshem that's chazor sashatz. We're talking. They do announce it. No, even if you would know, because it's announced, you have to say it. So what's the halach? Let's say your wife says musaf, davens musaf, right? She has to say Mashav Ruach Mord Agoshim in her Shemon Esrei, because the wife identifies with your minyan, right? If she davens personally in another minyan, she's part of another minyan. They haven't yet; it's not a problem. But if she's davening at home and she's not part of the minyan, then she identifies with her husband, wherever her husband is, or what her community is. She's a single woman. And her community, they've already said Mashav Ruach Mord Agoshim. The minyan she normally goes to, what she identifies with. In her private musaf at home, she has to say Mashav Ruach Mord Agoshim. If she did not, she has to repeat the Shemon Esrei. Okay. No, right. That's the argument in the Mishnah. No, because there's no requirement for first brachos, right? We speak what God does. So we don't make requests in the beginning. Later it's the same Talmotor, right? It's in the, right, but that's later. It's not immediate.
So let's say we're in Sukkot in Israel this year, or in any year. So I would say Mashav Ruach on Shmini Atzeres or Simchas Torah.
No. Like here, Shmini Atzeres, you say it here. You don't wait for Simchas Torah.
Oh, you're right.